Hey guys, Ashley York here from Rehab Dynamics. Wanting to give you guys a little bit of exercise program that you could do to try and work on your balance. So just a couple of things that y'all can do at home with either no equipment or just minimal equipment. One of the first things we can do is practice standing on unlevel surfaces. So if you have something like a foam pillow that you sleep on, or like a couch cushion or something like that, you can set it on the floor, stand on it, and practice, just standing with your eyes open and eyes closed. I would do this for about 30 seconds, 3 times. Make sure that you either have somebody there with you to help you if you need it for safety. The other option you have is to make sure you can stand by something like a table or a counter or a chair, or just something that's nice and steady and stable that you can hold on to make sure if you go to lose your balance, we are challenging balance, you have something to hold on to for safety. So again, standing on a pillow or something like that, some kind of unlevel surface. If you have gravel outside, grass, things like that, you can stand on something like that. 30 seconds, 3 times, and you can do this with your eyes open or eyes closed. All right, so the next thing that you can do is ankle sways. So if we're standing, we can practice, and I don't know if you can see my feet, you can practice going back and forth, little ankle sways, back and forth. We can also do side to side shifts, each direction, right and left, to practice our weight shifts side to side. Okay, and you can either time this out and do each direction for a minute, or if you want to do reps, you can certainly count to 20 each direction. So this would be 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and so forth, and go to 20 and maybe do like 2 or 3 sets of 20 of each of those. Okay, so forward and back, side to side. We can also do circle, where we go all the way around as much as we can. Working on my balance here too. Looking at our limits of stability, going around. We can also go the other direction. We're also working on coordination, looking at your equilibrium system, all of those things, okay? Same thing, 20 one direction, 20 the other direction, do that a couple of times. All right, next thing we can do is single leg stance. So again, we're gonna wanna always make sure we're by something to stabilize ourselves, especially for this one if we need to. We can grab onto something, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna slowly raise the foot forward. Okay, try to avoid this whole, let me hold on to my other leg here. We wanna bring that foot nice and forward, practicing our balance, okay? And trying to hold it. The goal is about 30 seconds, okay? If you need to drop the foot, slow and control, think of counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, then hold, okay? 30 seconds, 3 times each leg, okay? All right, next up, we can do toe taps, okay? So in the clinic, I would normally use something like this, like a cone. At home, you can use like a can or a bottle of water or something, but you'll place it on the floor and you will practice tapping that cone, alternating your feet, okay? Alternating. And again, when we count this out, it counts as 1, 1, 2, 2, and so forth, okay? So we would probably do a set of 10, maybe 2 or 3 times, again, working on that balance, holding on one side if you need to. If you need to hold on something on both sides, certainly do that if you don't feel comfortable. We definitely want to challenge the balance, but we also want to make sure we're safe, okay? So again, if you need somebody there to supervise with you, do that as well, okay? So again, reiterating, toe taps. This is alternating. If this is too challenging, You can always do just what we call a unilateral tap, where we just tap one side. So you would just tap right and do all 10 on that right side first. If you need to hold on, you're gonna wanna hold on with the opposite hand as the leg that you're working. So if I'm working my right leg, I wanna hold on with my left hand, okay? And we'll do that, and then you would switch and do your opposite side, okay? So that's our toe taps. The other thing that you can practice doing with the can or whatever object you have on the floor is practicing bending over and picking it up. I know for some people, this is a challenge, and this challenges their balance. Just simply bending over and picking up objects, okay? Again, if you need to practice by holding on with one hand on that side, you can do that. So we can hold on, grab our object, and put it back down, okay? Another way to kind of progress this particular exercise, if you have two or three cans and you want to line them up, kind of similar, you would do 1, 2, 3, and down, okay? Cross, front, side, down. And then we would switch over, over, over here. So you want to do 10 on this side, 10 on this side, and let's do that at least 2 times. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging because you're having to hold your balance for a little bit longer while you tap each cone. Okay? So that's another way to progress that exercise. Okay. We can also do what we call tandem stance. So tandem stance, and I'll face this way so you can see my feet. Tandem stance is where you're gonna put one foot in front of the other, okay? The goal is to have your heel directly in front of your toe, and we wanna hold this position here. This is our tandem stance. Heel to toe position. We wanna hold it here for about 30 seconds. Then you would take your break. You can switch to the other side. Hold it here, 30 seconds. And then switch again. And we would do that 3 times on each side. If this is too difficult for you to get to this position, number one, you can hold on to something. So you can hold on to get into the position and then try and let go as much as you can. The other option that you can do to kind of regress that down a little bit would be just to take a step forward, okay? So we would take our step forward, hold it here, and this for some people is a challenge, just standing in a stride stance or staggered stance. So you can try it like this if this close is too difficult or too challenging, okay? 3 times, 30 seconds, each foot, tandem stance. Taking that a little step further, we can do what we call tandem walking. So essentially walking the tightrope, right? So walking the line, heel to toe. Now if you have, a line of wood that you can practice, you can certainly do that. We want to try to avoid looking at our feet if we can. Tandem walking. Getting as close as you can from heel to toe. But if that's too challenging and you want to just space it out a little bit, you can do just like that, okay? We can also practice backward walking. Now for this one, I would definitely advise that you have somebody nearby so you don't run into a wall or some object behind you. But we want to practice backward walking, taking nice big steps, just making sure you don't run into something here, okay? Backward walking. Patients often don't understand why we practice backward walking, but essentially if you need to be able to back up to a chair, patients always tend to lose their balance backing up. They lose their balance backwards and then they end up falling backwards. So we like to practice backward walking to kind of get you used to that function, okay? So that's a good one. It's also challenging for some patients. All right, the next one we're gonna look into, I'm kind of adapting these exercises from my LSVT program. We're gonna look at the big step forward, the step side, and the backward step. So with our stepping forward, Your arms are gonna come out. The right foot steps forward. So we're here, forward, arms are out, big step, and then we come back together. So arms out, back together, okay? We usually do a set of 10 just on the right side, and then we would switch and do a set of 10 on our left side. So let me face forward so you can see me here. Forward and back. Left side, forward and back. That's our forward step. You'll also find the more that you start to do these, it actually takes a little bit of endurance. So as we're moving our arms, all of this, you'll start to get that heart rate up pretty quickly. So that's good. All right, the next one we're gonna do is the side step. So let me face forward so you can see. We're gonna step to the right. I look to the right as well. Arms are up, leg is out, looking to the right, come back together. So out and back together, okay? Again, 10 in this direction, and then we would switch and we would go 10 in our left direction, okay? Don't forget that look. Patients often forget the look, but then we look back forward, okay? If it's too difficult to do these exercises with the arms, if you need to hold on to modify, you can certainly do that. You can even hold on with one side and at least practice doing your other side. Okay, so here's our forward step. And then if we're gonna do the side here, or you might need to face the table or counter in this direction and just step out here. So just pretend this is a counter or a chair of something like that, okay? The next one you're gonna do is the backward step. So for this one, typically our hands start forward, okay? Right foot is gonna step backwards and my arms swing backwards. So we're here, backwards, and then together. So we step back with the foot, the left foot in the front, the toe comes up, our weight has shifted to our back leg. You should not have any weight on this front foot. And then we come back together. So it's all about practicing the weight shift and back, because that's when patients tend to lose their balance. They lose their balance here, right? So we want to practice learning how to control that. Now I'm going to go to my left. So stepping back on my left, my arms swing back, right foot comes up, and then we come back together, okay? 10 on the right, 10 on the left, 2 or 3 sets like that, and that's a good way to kind of work on your balance at home. If you have any comments or questions, please contact us at the clinic, 985-871-7878.